All right, welcome back to another TFT video. Today, the new patch came out, and we are going to be exploring some of the new builds that you can go with the new changes and updates. There's new items, including the Titan's Resolve, which is an item we're going to try and use today, as long as well as a new synergy we're going to go for, which is Lunar. So right off the bat, we get a tier three, tier two Leona, which is really awesome. And I'm still not really familiar with the item, the Titan's Resolve. So I'm trying to figure out how it works and everything, and I decided to put on a Renekton, and I'm trying to figure out just who it might be best on. And I'm thinking it can be really good because if you put it on someone that has a lot of crit chance, they'll just keep critting, and with the Lunar buff, they will get more crit chance as well and be able to continue critting even more and more and just do tons and tons of damage, which is what we end up doing in the end. And I thought that Renekton could be a good user of it because he heals and he gets resistances if he gets to 100. But I'm realizing now after recording and after playing this game that it's actually really hard to get to 100 stacks. I don't think I ever really do get to 100, but I do get somewhat close. And so something else that synergizes well with Lunar and with the Titan's Resolve is also Electric, because it just synergizes well with crit chance, and the more crit chance you have with Lunar especially, the more damage you're going to be doing. So early game, we don't start off the greatest, but we're also not doing the worst, so that's that. I'm still like kind of confused on what I'm supposed to do. I see some gloves, so I decided to grab those because I just want crit chance because I want to make uh, make the Titan's Resolve as effective as possible. And since we have the sword, we're gonna make the Infinity Edge because it's also just a good item for high crit chance builds. So just everything will be doing a lot more. In the rounds, we're just gonna econ up a little bit. Our Renekton is putting in the work with these items. Finally getting him level 2. And as you can see, he's already doing quite a bit of damage, and that's kind of a good sign. At this point, I wasn't even sure exactly what I wanted to do, but I saw the Azir and I decided maybe I wanted a desert buff eventually, so I just put him on my bench, and that was purely like for like a transition. I didn't even think Azir was necessarily gonna be that strong or anything, but I decided, let me just buy him just to get the desert buff. Yeah, there you can see I'm reading up a little bit more on what it actually does. Get some volleys so we can get the electric buff going, which would be super awesome. I'm still contemplating going like assassins or something, which is why I did Diana, because I'm sure assassins will benefit really well from the buff. But look how strong this is. Renekton with those two items kills the Krug before the other Krug even dies, being attacked by all three of my other champions, which is pretty insane in my opinion. I think that just shows how strong it is. Level up and put in the volley, get some more stuff on our bench going on. But obviously, we're not super powerful yet, as we do get destroyed here by this Ocean Mages guy, which I think Ocean Mages is still really strong. Get another Azir, and we also get a Rod, which is fine. I roll a couple times, just looking for anything. There's the other Lunar, which is helpful. There's a Sivir, but Sivir got nerfed, so not sure if I want to go her or not, so don't think I'm going to buy her. Get up our Lunar buff, put that on Renekton, which is super good because it just gives him attack speed. I think the Lunar synergy is just so strong, especially with crit items. Just such a meta changing thing. Even here we're pretty strong, but not quite strong enough, even with our Lunared up Renekton. There's an Azir with a Thief's Glove, or not Thief's Glove, whatever it's called, the fist thing, the glove. And I wasn't intentionally gonna put all my items on him, but I decided, what the heck, let me just go for it and put all the crit items onto the Azir. I also forgot to change my Lunar over to him. But this is where I got the brain blast and realized, holy crap, this is busted. Because right there, Azir just did 5,000 damage, which is pretty insane. And Azir did get buffed, but like it wasn't a huge buff, but it was enough. It was, I forget exactly what he got buffed by, but as you can see, he just annihilates and deals, yeah, thousands and thousands of damage at such a early point in the game. At this point, I'm a little bit excited because I think I found a very, very powerful synergy. You also get the Janna for Mystic, which is super awesome because the longer our team can survive, the more damage our Azir can do. Because we just want him to do as much damage as he can. Uh, Sadly, the items we get on the side there aren't the most useful for us. I really wanted some mana items to put on the Karma so that we could get Azir to auto attack faster because of Karma's ability. Anyways, but here's a really big pickup. This was honestly the luckiest part of the game because we got our Zed, which gives us 3 electric, which is just insane. And we're able to synergize super well with that. And here we're against the #1 guy, so not going to fare too well against him. He hasn't even lost a single round yet. And I was a little bit nervous about him, but with our Azir, I'm just also feeling super powerful. Already got another tier 2 Azir on the bench. If we can get him tier 3, that would just be insane. I put in the Renekton just for the desert buff, so I think that's not too shabby. We also lose to this guy, but that's because he got perfect items on his Malphite. Look at that. Morellos and Ludens. Crazy. But here's where I start a bit of a winning streak. So uh, you can see there's another Azir with a glove, but there's also the Zed with a spatula, which is still available, which is what we're going to grab. All right. Anyways, yeah. So we grabbed the Zed with the spatula, and we hop into the next part. We Nico it instantly because that is just what we want. We want the tier 2 Zed. Get some more Renekton's. We're kind of rolling just to see if we can get any more Azirs because we really want to get Azir up to level tier 3. And this is where we kind of start our roll along and we start really steamrolling people. Pick up two Janus here, which I think is better than a tier 1 Renekton, but then we get a tier 2 Renekton, so it's hard to say what to do exactly, but I like tier 2 Janna a lot. Azir, putting in the work. So is Zed. Super strong. Get another Ornn. Looking for tier 3 Ornn, tier 3 Leona, and tier 3 Azir. That's kind of what we want. Surprisingly, not many people are going for the Lunars in my lobby, which I thought more people would be going just since it's a new thing. But I won't complain. Here we pick up 2 swords, and I decide we can actually make an assassin. And if we put in the assassins and put in Kiana, that's just another great synergy. And I put all my items down, make the Warmogs, make a Bloodthirster, and we're just super strong. There we actually beat the #1 guy, like super strong, or like by so much. He just got obliterated. He was at 100 health, and I'm pretty sure he's a little razzled after that one. And what you're looking at right now is basically our final comp, and we're just gonna look for 3 stars at this point, because that's really the only thing that can make us any stronger. We're absolutely just steamrolling everybody. There's nothing really we can pick up besides what we already have, except for perhaps desert buff. So we want desert buff, which would either take level 9 or we want to find a Kha'Zix to replace the Kiana. Although Kiana is pretty nice because it gives us the cloud buff, but I think without going level 9, desert buff might be a little bit stronger since there's warden players and a lot of frontline going on in this game. We pick up another one of those items, whatever they're called, and we decided to put it on Zed because he'll be critting a lot, and whenever he multiplies, it'll just be more and more effective. There's a couple karmas that we skipped just because I didn't think I was going to go for a tier 3 karma. And there you can see just our Azir and our Zed putting in the work. Now we're going to get our tier 2 Kha'Zix. 1 more Azir is all we need. Don't quite get it, don't quite get it. Get another Ornn. So now we need 2 more Ornns. 2 more Leonas, and 1 more Azir, and then we are essentially complete. And then we go against this guy, who I didn't realize was also on a win streak, and he has Super Olaf, which does so much damage. Even though our Azir did so much damage, this Olaf ends up being a huge problem, because he's tier 3, so he's super strong. Another Bloodthirster. It's not what we wanted necessarily, but it's what we get, and we'll live with it. So at this point, we're down to 3 people. So I'm gonna decide to slow it down a little bit here, and uh, talk through what I'm thinking here. So we got the Bloodthirster. We want to look for uh, our 3 stars, and we know we're gonna get some money from the dragon, so we're not gonna roll yet because we can get up to 40 gold and just get that much more gold, 1 more gold to help us look for our 3 stars. 3-star Azir is the #1 thing we want in this situation, and that is what we're gonna go for first, especially. Even though we'll go for whatever we can get. And then there's the Lunar, the other Lunar, Karma, which I do decide to just pick up just for no reason, and then it ends up actually being pretty smart because we end up getting a lot of her. Luckily, we don't get any Orns or Leonas before we get more space open because we won't be able to buy them anyways. I would have just sold the Karmas, but there we go. 3-star Azir, super helpful. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Now we just need 1 more. Leona, I think I roll all the way down here. Yeah, there's 1 more Karma, so we just need 2 more Karmas. And that's about as far as we get. We're up against this guy again, and his Olaf manages to get into our backline and just obliterates our Azir, which is not what we want. And I was feeling a little bit scared at this point. I was like, uh-oh. We got 2 guys with a lot of health left. The Olaf guy is super strong. There's no way he can lose, is what I was kind of thinking at this point. I was like, oh well. And then here, this part's also kind of troll because I just need 1 more Karma and 1 more Leona to get tier 3, and it'd be so beneficial. So I need to change my positioning a little bit, and I know I'm against the other guy, Gobbles, or whatever the heck his name is. His brand is his carry, so we want to move our Zed into that corner at the last second and see if he can't assassinate that guy. And here I also messed up because I attached my Karma to the Kha'Zix instead of the Azir, even though our Azirs are carried by so much, and having our Karma be on the Azir just makes his attack speed so much faster. But I guess it didn't even matter because Annie just one-shot him with Tibbers. But then luckily our Zed gets into the back line and ends up taking him out. But actually, he takes out the Olaf guy, which I was super surprised by. I didn't expect anyone to be able to beat that Olaf. So, and then there's another Ornn. And now we have 3 different units. We need 1 more unit for to get to tier 3, and I am shaking in my boots, just waiting, hoping that we can get 1 more of them. Here I correctly set up my Karma with my Azir. I forgot to switch around my assassins, so I didn't have my Zed going into the back line. But here you can just see the power of Azir. And if he can get his attack speed off from Karma, he can do a lot of damage. And I mean a lot of damage. Still, Olaf just putting in the work. And we're down to 10 health. Which means if we do go against that guy again, we do end up surviving. Oh, here I really want the Quicksilver because it makes it so that Olaf can't CC my guy, and he gets it right before me, which made me so mad. It wasn't even the Olaf guy. But there's the Karma for tier 3 Karma with Zeke's Herald, and Zeke's Herald is a great item, especially late game. And especially because we want our Azir to be tacking as quickly as possible. This also upgrades our Karma, and then we get a Karma on the bench, and I'm a little bit salty about that because we could have gotten a tier 3 Karma anyways, but oh well, it is what it is. I'm trying to make sure the Karma is attached to the right unit, and I move everybody back, and I roll, and I roll, and I roll, and I get nothing. I wasn't sure which corner the guy was going to be in, and so I switched around like that, and this way Zed can get into the back line, which is really just the Lux who gets one shot. And then Azir one shots everybody. Oh my gosh, look at that damage. That is the power of the tier 3 Karma and the Zeke's Herald on him. He just attacks so much faster, and he's basically unstoppable at this point. There's just no way we're gonna lose. He does so much damage so quickly, and it's insane. I was I was kind of giggling in my chair, just so surprised what was happening, and I couldn't even understand like how we were just destroying so hard. And I'm surprised this other guy's still in, but I guess he beats Gobs beats the other guy. So, but there's no way we're gonna lose at this point. We are just way too strong. The last second, I moved my Zed into the corner so that we can snipe the brand because he is all of their damage. And Azir, with the shield from Karma, the attack speed from Karma, the attack speed from Zeke's Herald, he is just doing so much. Look at those huge crits, 1,300 damage crits, 16,000 damage from the Azir. We're still looking for our tier 2 Ornn and our tier 3 Ornn and our tier 3 Leona, but at this point, it doesn't really matter, but it would be awesome to get both of those just because more tier 3s is always fun. We get a Dragon Claw, not a bad item. Put it on Leona if we want. That's all we're going to look for. And at this point, the game's basically over. The guy has 4 health. There's no way. We're going to kill all his units except Olaf for sure, and probably Olaf as well, because our Azir is just too strong. Even here against the Scuttle Crab, the giant crab, Azir is doing so much damage, even though he has armor and all that. Pick up the Kazakhs just in case for some reason we get 5 Kazakhs on the next roll. Not that what's ever going to happen. And roll down, roll down. I'm a little bit upset. Look, three one costs, and I was like, ugh, none of them are Leona. And then there's Leona. So we get tier 3 Leona, which is honestly the more important of the two tier 3s to get, just because I want her to stay alive for as long as possible. And we don't end up getting an Ornn, even though I sell everything. And I put the Dragon's Claw onto the Leona, and we are full build and ready to go, besides the Ornn. But we don't really care about that. He even got the 2-3 Mundo, but that won't matter for us, because our Azir will one-shot everybody. The Janna ended up being a really good pick, because anyone that gets on the back line will get pushed away. And bada bing, bada boom, 14,000 damage. GG. Azir, Desert, Crit, Lunar, busted. OP. Thanks for watching.